Morning, everybody. So here I am with the latest installment of Cards, Coffee, and Cats. This morning they are being crazy. My goodness. So Yoda is currently camped out on my card crafting kit. Hey Becca, welcome. And Bubba has been digging in the towel drawer all morning. I've put everything back in. The first two times I folded it and put it all back in nicely. The last time I walked by, I just shoved it all in there. I'll deal with it later. And then there's a little bit of squabbling going on between Bling and Juliet because, sisters. So what we are making today, I have all of these seeds because it's fall and everything is ready to be harvested. And I let my flower beds go to seed. I do deadhead them a little bit early on, but then I let them go to seed so that I can share them with friends and family. And we're going to be making some Shaker Dome seed cards that you can share with your loved ones. Morning, Sherry, welcome. So let's do our acrobatics here, and I will get the camera flipped down so that y'all can see what I'm doing. All right, so making sure that, yeah, okay. So the kit that we're using is the Jar of Flowers stamp and the Mason jar punch. This comes in a bundle, so you can save 10% when you get it. We're also going to use this which one are we going to use? What did I decide? Let's celebrate you, because flowers are a celebration. So we're going to be using that sentiment, and then we're going to use flowers. So you guys take a look at these, because I'm going to let you decide which flowers we're going to put on top of our jar. And then these are the little shaker domes, shaped just like the punch. They fit exactly. So we're going to get into it, okay? Today we're going to be using Rich Razzleberry cardstock. Our card base is going to be Berry Vanilla. I'm trying to find a place to put this where it's out of the way, but I can still reach it. So we have Rich Razzleberry, Berry Vanilla, and then we're going to use this beautiful gray brick. This is out of the In Good Taste Designer Series paper, and I think there are 16 different patterns in here. It's absolutely gorgeous. On the other side of this one is a beautiful pale gray, kind of marbly. So the first thing that we're going to do, hello Yoda, can you guys see him, his little fluffy tail over here? Let's start cutting this down. So we know that we want a 5.5-inch cut for our card base. This will give us 2 cards. And then we're going to make our crease at 4 1/4 and then scoot it over just a skosh so that people can open it nicely. Then we're going to need 5 1/4 by 4 on our Rich Razzleberry. I'm going to go ahead and just cut another one because you know I'm going to make more of them. Now I have this one all ready to go too. And from our Designer Series paper, we're going to cut this at 5 1/4 trying to keep everything cleaned up since I'm working in a little contained space. And then this one is going to be at 3 3/4. And I should have told you to pay attention to the way that you cut it because our bricks are going to be going up and down. And you know what? That's okay. I don't mind that. I think we can work with that just fine. All right, so now that we have everything cut down, you can see where we did the descending measurements. We're going to have this beautiful pop of color on the border. And now that I look at that, it's going to bother me. So we're going to cut a different piece of this. I want that to be, that one's perfect that way, and then we will cut this one this way at 3 3/4. Nope, I did it again. See, I have horizontal cards in my head. And that's okay. All right, y'all, I need a keeper. But isn't that the fun of live? You get to see that I make mistakes. Oh my goodness, I fully admit that I do. This is the direction we want to be going. Oh, and I did not start the computer in the background so that I can see your comments. Hold on, let me get that just now. All right. And welcome, Becca. Good morning. All right, now we have them going in a way that is not going to set my OCD bells ringing. Thanks for putting up with me for just a minute there. All right, so we're going to take our shaker jar punch and we're going to punch a big hole right in the middle of our designer paper. So we have like so. Now we have a nice little jar. We can use this somewhere else. I really like the gray side with the jar. Okay. These all have a nice little clip so they will stand up on their own out of the way. So the shaker jar is going to fit underneath here like so, but we are not going to tack it down quite yet. Isn't that going to be cute? All right, let's set this aside. I want to grab a piece of the vanilla cardstock. We're not going to do any die cutting this morning. We're going to do some fussy cutting. And this one's not oh so fussy. I remember I gave you a choice which flowers we want to use, so somebody needs to shout out. We have sunflowers, roses, tulips, which really aren't a fall flower, and then we have this one that's got, I don't know, some cute 5-petaled and maybe a dahlia. So which ones do you like? All right, I'm going to leave this here. You guys look at it. Tell me what you want to use. Tell me what I'm making. Morning, Heather. All right, I just gave everybody the choice on which flowers we're going to use. We have sunflowers, roses, and some, I don't know. They're cute. So somebody needs to shout out sunflowers, roses, or the cute ones. I know you love the sunflowers, I do too. Should we use the cute ones though? Let's do those. Which is this one right here. Oh, now we have 2 votes for sunflowers. Hey, I'm good with that because I love sunflowers too. Let's do the sunflowers. We'll probably just go ahead and stamp the cute ones too, because you know I'm going to make probably 4 cards by the time that I'm finished here. Not all of them on camera, but I will post a picture. So we're going to use the sunflowers first. And I'm using the Memento ink. And the reason that I'm using that one is that if I want to do any of these with Stampin' Blends, that is what to use with those. We're going to be using our Stampin' Write markers on these because I love them. And all of the colors that I'm using are in the Regals and the Brights. All right. So let's go ahead and stamp up the cute one while we're here too. So I did not work television magic this time around. So you guys are going to get to watch me fussy cat, but we're not to that point yet. So we're gonna color our sunflowers. The colors that I brought with me today, like I mentioned, they are out of the Regals and the Brights. I just grabbed what looked like fall flowers to me. So we have some cherry cobbler, some crushed curry, old olive, something upside down, mango medley, the melon mambo, my absolute favorite color of all time right now, the garden green, and blackberry bliss. And I'm just going to color some sunflowers. And sunflowers, you guys know the sunflowers are not all orange and black, right? I have some in my garden that are just, some of them are really pale yellow. Some of them kind of have a pinkish tint to them. They are all super fun. And this is where you can just unleash your inner child, your creative, and it's super fun to just color and play. It does not have to be perfect. You do not have to stay within the lines. You do not have to go all the way to the lines. This is your creation. It could be a 2-card day, you never know. I did punch out enough stuff that we could do 2 if we have time and you guys are interested. You have pink and red sunflowers? Oh my goodness, girl. I would love to do some seed swapping with you. And now you're gonna know how to make seed cards so that we can do that. Woohoo! I have some out there that are really dark red too. I love them. My sunflower room did not come to complete fruition. It got so hot so fast that it didn't finish growing up. I should have planted it a month earlier than I did. But it's blooming. There go the crazy cats. Can you hear them in the background? All right, that's enough. That's enough. I don't have a water bottle handy. They do respect the power of the water bottle. And it sounds like it's calmed down, so I'm not going to have to leave you to go fetch it. That's on the counter on the other side of the room. This one looks like a thistle to me. And I think thistle blooms are so pretty. I just don't like seeing them in my pasture. Let's do this one too. Thanks, Heather. I thought they were calmed down. I can still hear them scumbling under the table a little bit. And Rosalie, one of the invisible cats, is involved in that, which is not real common. She usually just tries to stay out of everybody's way. All right, so there's our sunflowers, and we don't have a die cut. We're going to just do some fussy cutting. Now, when I say fussy cutting, you do not have to get all the way around this. It's not like we're making a mask. If we were making a mask, yeah, there would be a lot more intense fussy cutting going on, which you can tell that I used this one as a mask. I did cut it out precisely, but for this, we want it more like what the stamp looks like. So just the vague general outline. So not super fussy. And I'm going to separate that so that I can turn it. See, not super fussy. Just following the outline. And if you get a little closer in places and a little farther away in other places, that's okay. That all adds to the handmade aspect of your cards. Even when you look at things that have been milled by machine, they're not perfect, you guys. So there's no point in striving for perfection. Just be the best you that you can be and be happy with what you create, because it's beautiful. Are these paper snips great for being able to dodge around corners and get in there like that? I love them. All right, I need to tidy up a little bit so that I can see where I'm going. All right, so you can see this is coming together. We're going to do some dimensionals on that and make it pop. But first, we're going to stamp our sentiment. And we're going to use, this is the Whisper White ink pad. When this comes to you, it is uninked. You get the pad and you get the bottle of ink. There is a trick to this stuff. It's kind of a pain, but it's so worth it. So when you put the ink on here, it's going to sit on the surface. I have a little card that I just kind of keep with it. And you can still see, if I can get it in the light for you, that there's a little bit, there's areas where it's finely soaked in, and there's other areas that are a little shiny. So before I start with it, I'd like to take this card and just kind of smooth over what is still sitting on the top, and that keeps working it in. These pads do have a little bit of a curve that way, but it will eventually all settle into the ink pad nicely. And we are going to stamp on some of our rich raspberry. And I only have one block within reach right now, and that's okay. We're going to use it. So this is Let's Celebrate You. And on this one, because it is so thick, check to make sure that you've got everything stamped or everything covered. And then we're going to come away from the edge a little bit because we're going to do a little bit of trimming on this one too. And let's do two of them. When you clean the Whisper White, your stamp and scrub will turn white. Okay. And I like to give this an extra little spritz on the stamp itself because there's still some of it that is in that went off of the surface and down onto the grooves. There we go, that looks better. And this block that I am using is the E block. Each of the blocks has a letter designation in the channel. One side has the letter, the other side says Stampin' Up. So if you find one, the Stampin' Up, then you know, flip it over, you'll find the letter of which size that one is. Took me the longest time to figure that out, so I thought I would share and save you the time and trouble. Good morning, Lenora. All right, so I'm just going to cut this off of here. And then I'm going to cut them apart also because we're going to do just a tiny bit of contouring. That should be our new word for fussy cutting light, contouring. I'm definitely gonna have to go out and gather up some of the sunflowers for this jar. So I think once we get all of these pieces made, then I have another one that I made earlier that's sitting over here beside me. And we will continue on with that one because I really, really want to put sunflowers in this jar. And they're outside. And the flower seeds that I brought with me are some, I don't know whether they're the red poppies or the blue poppies. A friend of mine sent them to me, and they had they had post-it note tags on them, and well, they got separated. So I have a bag of red poppies and a bag of blue poppies, and I don't know which is which. So I'll probably just end up mixing them all together because poppies. All right. So we'll be trimming a little bit off these edges, but we'll have our seeds in here, and this will wrap around just like so. I'm going to set that one aside so that I can go gather my sunflowers later. And we're going to continue working with this one that I did with the roses. See, you guys, I'm glad that you picked different flowers because I had roses that I made earlier. Excuse me, I gotta take a drink of my coffee. What are y'all drinking this morning? You never knew about the letters. Oh my goodness, I told you something new. That's awesome. Because you've been doing this for a while. All right, so flower seeds that I have, here are my random poppy seeds. We are going to flip this over, and I'm going to just lift a corner here so that I can get a hold of it in a minute. Now do be aware that when your friend uses the seeds from this card, it is going to mess up the card because she's going to have to get into it. But she's not going to plant it until next year. So over the winter, she's got this beautiful card to look at with the promise of spring and amazing blooms to come. And nothing is supposed to last forever anyway, right? So it's okay if when the time to plant these seeds and to create new beauty comes, that the card goes away. If she's careful with it, she can probably salvage a lot of it anyway. All right, so I'm going to peel this off of here. And it's very sticky. Very, very sticky. Oh, so sticky. And we are going to attempt to line all this up and make it beautiful. You know what? I'm kind of going to do it. I'm going to hold it over my head. So I'm telling you what I'm doing, but you won't be able to see it because I'm holding it over my head so that I can get it lined up. I just want to line up a couple of corners. Okay, got them. So I lined up the corners so that I could hold onto it like that, and then I'm just going to pull that around. Did all that make sense? And it's slightly offset. And you know what? Again, I'm okay with it because actually that's kind of cute being offset like that. By the time that we get everything else on here, nobody is going to notice. And the things that you notice are not the things that other people notice. I grew up with, my mom is an amazing artist, and she's hard on herself. I'm hard on myself, but that's one of the things that you learn as you go along, is that you're your own worst critic, and people that you are making things for, they just love it because you made it. So we're putting some mini dimensionals on here, just in a few places to give it some lift. One in the middle so that it has a bridge support. You guys, I find these little dimensional the sticker cover parts, I find them all over my house. I think that I've got them all and that I'm all tidying it up when I get done. No. No, no, no. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on that and get it tacked down before we do our dimensionals. That way we don't have to be squishing it when we do that. Well, hello, Rosalie. She is over here just peeking at stuff. Hi, girly. Oh, let me get you moved back to the right place. Sorry about that. All right, so we're just going to float our little flowers here above our jar. Then I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive on the middle of this, and then I think, let's do some dimensionals to just float the ends up a little bit. Good morning. Yes. And then we need a dot of, I'll be right back. I did not bring my glue with me this morning. Look, you guys, I got my glue. Woohoo! I'm so excited. All right, so this is a multi-glue, and I think I'm going to right about there in the center. We're just going to give it a little dot. And this glue dries clear. Let's pull our All right, Heather, we'll see you later. You can catch the replay. See the end of things. I'm gonna hold on to that right there and just tack my dimensionals down. What do you think? That's a great number. Hezzy's blood glucose is 104 this morning. I'm so excited about that because he came out of remission a few months ago and we've been struggling to get him back in, but he's working hard, so I know he'll get there. And 104 is a normal blood glucose. All right, so we're just going to put some of our multi-glue on here. Kind of going to keep it back from the edge because remember we have a little bit of a border there and I don't want glue squishing out past it. I am so happy to have my glue. I was doing things with Stampin' Seal that I probably shouldn't have been. Okay, I do have a little bit of glue seeping out right there. This glue is going to dry clear, and I'm just going to grab my little swiper here and kind of pull some out from under the edge. So there's always a way to fix things if you see something you don't like. Just stay calm. Think about what you have available that you can make it better with. All right, so there is our dome shaker card with all of the poppy seeds in it. I know they don't match the roses, but if you've ever tried to harvest rose seeds, that's a pain in the butt. And they don't germinate very well. Hey Cole, do we still have that big bag of sunflower seeds in here? Did they all get used out there? Okay. Well, darn you guys, I thought that I had a solution. Time is up. It's 9:03. It's not going to be a 2-card day. I am so sorry because. Did you find it? Oh my goodness. Okay, we have a big bag of sunflower seeds, so I do have enough time to do that before I run and open the mercantile. So let's work with our sunflower card because I'm excited about this. Thank you. This is a big bag of sunflowers that was harvested last year that we planted this year, and you can see there's every size of sunflower imaginable, and the colors are all thrown together. So who knows what you will get when you plant from this bag. So I'm just going to put a few. I'm trying to keep out all of the stuff that's not seeds. Somebody's going to end up with a little bit of that anyway. And let's see if we can get some of the tiny ones out of there too. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to stand on my head again while I line these cards up. Be right back. All right, there is our little jar of sunflower seeds. I'm so excited. And the reason that I stood on my head to do this is because I wanted to make sure that I got this stuck down to the back piece in just exactly the right place. Yeah, I suppose that I could have set it on there, lined it up, and then like drawn around it, but still, to keep the seeds in there, we would have had to have done it from looking at it upside down. I think I did get this one centered better than the other one though. Yep. All right, some dimensionals on our sunflower. I'm so glad that you guys picked sunflower this morning because I forgot all about this huge bag of sunflower seeds. That's way more sunflower seeds than what I have shaker domes to play with. I may have to do something about that. And if you guys want to share in my flower seed bounty and you want a seed shaker card of your own, please please say me or whatever indicate to me in the comments that you do, and then message me your address and I will send you some of the flower seeds. Because I love to share them. You like that? Thanks. And if you have a preference for which seed you want, tell me that too. All right, Becca, see you later. All right, there we go. Sunflower card. So we are coming to the end of our time together this morning so that I can go over and open the mercantile. Hopefully the temperature is going to stay low enough that I can stay out there all day. Once it gets above 95, it's a little hard to stay out there. So there are 2 cards for this morning. One with sunflower seeds, one with poppy seeds. So if you want a card and seeds, put that in the comments. And I will do my best to get everybody some awesome little promises of spring as we're going into fall. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And we're going to go on a carnival ride. Here we go. So that I can... Thanks for joining me. I will see you next week. Who knows what my crazy cats are going to be doing, but we will be doing cards and coffee. All right, you guys have a great day.